Hello everybody and welcome back to my pink and yellow springcore island Sunblossom. So in the last episode we worked on Elmer and Molly's area, and today we're moving to the left to work on this entire campsite area. Now this was a big project and originally I was going to split it up into two separate videos, and I totally would have done that if something very unfortunate did not happen, which I will touch on later. But of course, you know me by now. We are starting with the paths. Do I need to give you the spiel on why starting with the paths is the best? Unsure. If you've been here for a while, you definitely don't need to hear it. But if you're new, I'm just going to give you the quick little rundown. It helps plan out the spaces around the paths so much more. So I highly recommend it. So that is what we are going to be starting with, of course. And like I always say, I like to start with the big features like buildings, inclines, and bridges. And I like to start by putting the path there and then work on connecting the structures together. Instead of just trying to do one straight path starting at point A going to point B, I kind of go like point A, B, C, and then just like connect them at like point D. I don't know, but that's what I do and it always works out for me. So if you don't do that, I highly recommend it. But we are going to flash forward through this path making because I find it boring and there's so many better things that you guys could be watching me do. So we're going to skip this. All right, and here is the finished path. I stopped it there because I was going to do the next video in that area, but we're going to put it in this video as well. But anyways, now I am just planning out where I want these kids' tents to go because I feel like you can't make a campsite without using the kids' tents. I feel like it's a canon event, like it needs to happen. But now I'm just looking for some carpets or rugs to put underneath of the kids' tents just to give like the inside of the tent a little more coziness. And I originally tried to do like a layered blanket look and I think it looked good. It definitely didn't look bad, but I just wasn't the biggest fan of it, so I end up just going with one blanket. And so I'm doing the pink one with the roses down here, and then I'm taking the yellow blanket and putting it underneath the one on the top. I feel like it just makes them look so much better. But now, of course, because we are building a campsite, I feel like it's almost inevitable that we add at least a little tiny fire pit. So I'm placing down some of this grass path down here and I'm going to place a campfire on top of it. Look at how cute that is. It looks like just a little fire pit area. I kind of wish I had like some cobblestone like that I could shape into a square, but I didn't have any of that and I couldn't find any that I really liked. But I did put this barbecue right next to the fire because I feel like that's fitting, you know, barbecue fire. And then of course I put the wood steps. I don't think I need to go through it again. They're the best. That's it. But now I'm putting down this cute little layered picnic blanket down, and I'm gonna put, of course, a picnic on it because why wouldn't you? It's a campsite. There's gonna be people with blankets and food. So of course it's so fitting, and I love that blanket. I've been using this blanket for so long. It is in my like personal, like I guess like my forever world that I have on my own Switch, but I love it, so I will always use it. But now I'm just looking for more items to place, so I put down a windmill in the back there, and I feel like it gives a good amount of height. And then I realized that I have a mush parasol, so I checked to make sure that it fits in that little space there, and then I go in with my dirt, and I just put it underneath. I did this in either the last episode or the episode before that, and it looks really good. I just feel like it adds a little bit more to the bottom of the mushroom than it did before. And now I'm going through with more of my grass path right next to the campsite so that, or I guess it is called the campsite. Yeah, right next to the campsite. And I am going to be putting a little, I guess not a little table. I'm going to be putting a pretty big table. I'm putting the whole log dining table on this spot right here. And then I'm just going to be decorating it with a couple like outdoorish campsite things. I don't really know. A lot of times when I have surfaces that I need to decorate, I kind of just put random things there. And it usually ends up looking pretty good. So if you're never sure what to put on top of like tables or benches or anything that is like a surface, literally just put anything that like somewhat makes sense to the build you're doing. And I promise you it will look good. Yeah, but you can see here, I put some of those like pink bottles. I put a picnic basket and then just some like plates and bowls and like silverware. And look at that. Totally looks like a usable campsite. And now I realize that I have wheat fields. So I go and I start putting some wheat fields just dotted around. I don't want it to be too full of wheat fields. That was kind of like what I was doing in the farm area. I want to keep it a little bit less in this area. And I'm also using the lighter color of the wheat field that I've been using around the rest of the island. The only place that I used the like yellow colored wheat field was in the farm, and it's gonna stay that way. I really like the white one. Or I guess it's like, is that the green one? I guess it's like technically green. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's a different one that I'm not using. I don't know, but this is my favorite wheat field color. It was around this time where I realized I needed to craft something. And so I start crafting, and then my cat jumps onto my desk, and right here, the entire thing freezes. My entire rest of my video recording me building and finishing the campsite just completely gone. So me placing down the rest of the decorations, the flowers, the bushes, everything. It's just gone. So we hate that. Actually, this is why 2 episodes are now having to become 1 episode. So because of that unfortunate tragedy, let's do a quick little walkthrough before we get into the second part of this video. Here it is. Here is the campsite all done. I love everything that I did. I think it looks super cute, super naturey. I kept it pretty simple, but I used a lot of the country fencing. I also love the table with the vine lamp and the candle. I added some teddy bears, but overall, I think that it is very, very cute. So now moving on to the next area, which is going to be a little outdoor theater, because I feel like this space just needs something to fill it up. And how cute would it be if you're going camping and literally right next to the campsite, there's an outdoor movie theater? I think that that would be so cute in real life. So I'm doing it in Animal Crossing. And you can see here, I'm starting with the plain party lights arch to see how big it is, because I want to have 2 plain party lights arches behind the 1 screen I was going to do. I was originally thinking I was going to do 2 screens, but I was like, that's just a bit too much and they don't connect super nicely. There's still that border. So I just went with the 1, and I think that that base right there is so adorable. Now I'm just continuing the path. I'm kind of starting to try to snake it up to that little private beach. I did not decorate the private beach. I don't know what I'm going to put on the private beach. I might just put like some little like beach chairs or something like that. So we'll see what I do with that in the future. But now I'm moving on to some of the blankets, and I downloaded a lot of new blanket codes for this build because I knew that I was going to have a bunch of blankets and I wanted to do something different than the blankets that I've been using before. So I picked out a few others and I will put them in the description below. I haven't said this in a while, but in all of my videos for Animal Crossing, in the description, there will be a link to, not a link, there will be the custom code in the description for every single code that I use. So if you're ever wondering what code is that, where can I find it, it will be in the description. Now that all the blankets are placed down, I am starting to weave this path through the blankets, because you can see I left a little bit of space in between them because obviously we need some sort of path going through this, but I really like the fact that I used the thin path. I think it looks really, really cute. And I feel like it just works in the space better because although we have a lot of grass spots in this place and it's very open with all of the blankets there, it's very limited in the space that I have for the path. So I feel like this little tiny path works really well, and it also just looks so cute. Like it's just like a little bit of foot traction. So now that all of the blankets are placed down, I went into my inventory and I grabbed a bunch of little decorations. And of course, I had to start with cushions because you cannot have a cute and cozy little outdoor movie area without putting down a bunch of pillows. It just makes sense. And then also I went in with some more bears because I did the bears in the campsite and I wanted to kind of carry them over, and it looks so cute when you turn them at the right angle and it looks like they're looking at the screen. It's so adorable. I love the bears. I wish I used them more throughout the island. I've really only been using them back in like the back of the island. So I wish I included them more, but who knows if I'll include more in the future. But now I'm adding these wood partitions right in front of this little rock area, and I am creating a little bit of a snack area. So I've got the cotton candy machine and the popcorn machine, and they're so cute. I love the pink variation. And then I'm putting down the Zen bench because it's the perfect little table because it's just at the right height where it doesn't block what's behind it. And of course, you can still put stuff on it. But yeah, then I went back to decorating the blankets. And then I remembered that I had this blanket back here. And I was like, oh, I need a couple more things to put on that. And then you'll never guess what happened. I forgot to record me doing the foliage and part of the decorations. So yeah, I went to go take a break and I came back, started recording. I thought, newsflash, I did not start recording. And yeah, so we've got some trees in here. We've got bushes, flowers, some wheat fields. And I'm really upset that this video has so much missing footage. Like I said, this is why I had to combine this into 2 videos instead of 1. But it's fine. I'm going around here and I'm adding in some of the grass underneath the blankets because I don't know. I can't explain why I did it. It looks cute. So I'm going to do it. So I really like it. It adds a little bit more detail and dimension other than it just being like plain Animal Crossing grass. It just gives a little more flair. So I really like it. And then I'm just rearranging some of the stuff on the blankets and I added in the cute little bunny looking at the screen too. And I love it. And now I'm just going in with some more flowers and some more little codes here and there. And again, just rearranging stuff, making sure that I like where everything is. I struggled on where to put that mum cushion apparently, but I think it stays there. Yeah, so we're just adding even more flowers around. We're getting near the end of this build. My builds, I always estimate that they're going to take a lot longer than they do, and then they don't take that long. But now I'm going back in with the wood steps because I didn't want to carry up the dirt path up into the rock. Also, I decorated the rock, so there's just a little like cooking area and the seating area. And I think it's really cute. And now comes the part where basically all of the furniture items that I want have been placed. I think the final one was that sturdy paper bag over there. And now I'm just finishing off with a couple of flowers. Oh, nope, it wasn't. It was the wedding candle set, which I just plopped right there. And now I'm going through and adding fencing because that is something I have not done in this area yet. And I try to include a little bit of fencing in pretty much every area. I feel like it just works well in a lot of spaces and kind of sections off different places. And now I'm pretty much just going through every single space that is not filled and I'm filling it with either weeds or some custom code. I really like these new little like flowery daisies that I've been kind of sprinkling in this area. I think they're super cute. But yeah, this is pretty much the build all complete. So let's take a look and see what we built today. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Even though there were a couple of technical issues, I hope that I will see you in the next video and I will catch up with you all later. Bye!